Now here's another sequence, and this one is referred to by the name B, right, with the subscript K, and remember when it's in the curly braces, that refers to the entire sequence. Well, here's every term in the sequence, so we can see that this is a finite sequence, but we don't know how to refer to each term. We see the values of the term, but we don't know what the initial index is. So without the initial index, we don't know how to identify that. So often you'll be given the index, right? And it might say the initial index is, 1. Or another it might say is that it begins with B1 is equal to 5. And that shows you that it begins with 5 is the term, and then it identifies what that initial index. So either this or this, both of them explain to us what that initial index is. Okay? And then we see what's the initial term. So the initial term is 5. We can also talk about final index. So what's the final index? Well, we know what the beginning one is, and we know they're consecutive. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the final index is 7, right? And what's the final term? Is 9. So we have all of that information about this series. Well, this is finite because there's a finite number of terms in the sequence. We can also have an infinite sequence. And when we have an infinite sequence, we're going to define it in similar ways, but they're often done with a formula. So we want to say, let's define this sequence with a formula. So let's talk about a sequence called A of K. And then it's equal to a specified formula. And what that formula will do is it will say this term, remember with the term we just don't put the curly braces, so the term is equal to, and here's where the formula is. So we could say that it is equal to 2, or K raised to the power of 2. So it's K squared. And then in the formula, it will also tell us for what the domain is. So we might say that for K equal to, or K greater than or equal to 0. All right, so for K greater than or equal to 0. So that tells us where the index starts, that the index starts at 0. And then we know, because it's a sequence, that they're consecutive. So it'll be 0, 1, 2, 3. So let's see if we can identify what's in this sequence. And notice this is infinite because K can go 0, 1, 2, 3. It just keeps going. There's no upper limit. If there were an upper limit, it would say, for K greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to some other value. So we could do a finite sequence with a formula, but it would have a range that had both a beginning and an end. Because this one only has a beginning, then it's infinite because it doesn't have an end. So what would the first term be? Well, we know that it's going to start with the index 0. And so A of 0, right, is equal to, what we do is we put the K in there, which is the index, so 0 squared. So what's 0 times 0? That's 0. Okay, so that's the first term, the initial term in this sequence. Then the next term is going to be index 1, and so A of 1 is equal to 1 squared, which is 1. The next one is 2. Again, we're going consecutive, so A of 2 is equal to 2 squared, so 4. A of 3 is equal to 3 squared, which is 9. And see how we can use this to find all of the values in the series. But this is an infinite value, or an infinite series, so we could write it like this, right? Or we might be asked, okay, what is the term at index 12, right? So what's the term at index 12? Well, it would look like we would write the term this way, right? It's at A12. What is A12 equals? Well, we put 12 and square it, and we get 144. So we can compute the value of each term in the sequence by using that formula and substituting it in the value of the index into the formula to compute the value of the term.